Spoiler alert, the following podcast includes discussions on film that may potentially, intentionally or inadvertently, reveal plot twists, character traits, story details, up to and including endings that might otherwise be considered spoilers. Proceed at your own risk.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Listen to me, sister. Nobody dead ever killed again. This channel sucks.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
Welcome, everybody, to Moviesucktastic, the movie podcast that does stuff.
Yeah. We should be more we should be more popular than we are. We're the hardest working podcasters you don't know anything about.
But that's because, we just don't network well.
That's the problem. I think we network really fucking well. We're being oppressed. That's what it is.
We are oppressed. And that is a nice segue into our film review.
Just like this, this fucking cold is oppressing me.
I am Scott, and the sickly one is Joey. And together we will be reviewing the Oscar nominee, Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures.
AKA Hidden Fences.
Yeah. Don't say that in a award show. Your whole career will get ruined.
I don't. You know what?
Yeah.
Never. I can't even get into it.
Listen. In this business we call show, if you have the privilege to be in it, and to be successful in it, yes, and you're giving yourself and peers, you and your peers congratulatory awards. If someone fucks up and says Hidden Fences, don't take it as a racial. They fucked up. Just leave it at that and just move on.
It was an unfortunate coincidence, and yeah, I'm with you on that.
I mean, listen, I'm the first person to tell you, that everyone should be created equal and blah, 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 and all that good stuff. But it's like, it was just a simple slip up. It's like saying, combining two words and making a new word when you really only meant to say the one word. That shit happens all the time. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, we're reviewing Hidden Fences this episode.
That's right. It was okay. We'll talk to you next week. Goodbye.
I
just want to go to
bed. So this is our third Oscar review. We're doing all 9 before the actual Oscars.
Yes,
doing 2
we are.
a week, doubling down.
We're doubling down.
And Joey's sick, so we're tripling down because we're trying to get this done at a decent pace. We're not going to rush through it, but Joey, do we have anything playing in the background for this?
I have some featurettes and behind the scenes stuff.
Just double checking.
Hey, sick or not, I come fucking prepared.
Oh no, you are on the ball, sir. Believe me.
Don't worry.
Now, so again, we're talking about the film Hidden Figures. Now, there's a structure to the show that we haven't implemented yet because I'm a slacker. But we're going to start with just the film title, Hidden Figures. And we're going to weigh in on that, and then we're going to move on to the plot, and then to the performers, and then the cinematography, and then our overall anything else that we want to throw in there. That sound good to you, sir?
Sounds great.
All right, I'm going to start right off with the title, Hidden Figures. Sir, what is your point of view on the title of the film?
Much like when we talked about Arrival, although this has a bit more meaning to it, Arrival, we both felt that it was a shitty title, very simple, very basic. With this, Hidden Figures, they didn't really tie that in. I mean, I guess you can tie in with math, that there are some hidden figures within math to try and figure out problems and things of that nature. I don't think that's what they're going for with the title. They might be, but
sir. Now, my co-host Joseph is very under the weather.
I'm sick.
Borderline pneumonia. So he's a little his mind isn't where it usually is. So he, of course, is missing the point that it's definitely what they meant when they said Hidden Figures, because the title is a double entendre, if you will. Hidden Figures being the hidden math, but behind the orbit of the the first manned orbit around the Earth by the U.S. Space program, and the math they had to discover to bring that down safely, also Hidden Figures as in the hidden female figures,
right?
These women behind the scenes.
I was getting to that, so I was right. Hey, I just want to go to bed.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, hurry up. But I actually like the title. I think it works. It has that multiple meaning.
Yeah, it's an okay title.
So far we're 2 for 3 in Oscar titles this year.
They should have called it Space and the shit you have to do to get there.
I also like the fact that figures kind of rhymes with niggers.
Whoa!
Because that's kind of what we're getting at too. It's the whole oppression of the black people. This is like the 1961, I think.
61.
So
Kennedy
a lot of the
was,
film deals with the fact that not only are these women that are being forced out of the main men's world, but also black women being forced out of the main white man's world.
So Kennedy's still breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Russians are breathing on our neck.
Yeah, this is a good many years before we faked the moon landing.
Did you see that there's a movie out about that?
Yeah, which one? There's like several.
Dude, it's a comedy. It's basic. Oh fuck! There's a trailer for it and everything.
Is that the one where they're sent to do a documentary back in the '60s undercover?
No, well, no. The way it works is they're talking about Stanley Kubrick filming the moon landing, and that's the plot of the film. And they hire these guys to help make that happen. Yeah,
I've got that film somewhere. Yeah.
No, it hasn't come out in theaters yet.
It hasn't? I'm thinking of a different film?
You're thinking of a different movie.
Oh, shit.
Hold on. Let me get the title for you.
Yeah, I need to know this one because this is right up my this is my ballywick right here.
Let's see. What is it called? It is called... It just came out a couple of weeks ago. I just saw the trailer for it.
Actually, while you're looking that up, I'm going to disappear from the camera for a second.
Excuse me.
I can't hear you, but I'm still here.
Okay. What the hell was the name of this movie? It was called...
You still there, sir?
I'm still here.
I just had to grab this because I finally grabbed a hard copy. I've had a PDF copy for a while, but I finally grabbed a nice hard copy of my Dark Mission.
John Carpenter?
No. This
is that one. Yes.
This is a lot of stuff in here, including the faked moon landing. Thank you very much.
Nice.
So I've got, I added that to my conspiracy shelf just a couple weeks ago. Right. It's right below my 9/11 shelf.
Cool.
Anyway. Hello?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is the name of this movie? It's like it's been taken out of the trailer section. It's like, has this movie been pulled before it even got off the ground?
Well, while you're looking for that,
I saw the trailer. It was funny. It was really funny. I'm like, I have to see this, and I might have to see this in a theater.
So Hidden Figures is about the main characters are these three women, black women, and this is based on a true story. The film is up for Best Adapted Screenplay. Am I correct in that? Best Adapted Screenplay?
Yes.
Or is it
It's called
Yes.
Operation Avalanche.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have that.
No, it hasn't come out yet.
Hang on, I'll tell you. Fine, you tell what the movie's about then.
What?
Yeah, Operation Avalanche, dude, I have it.
You really? Oh.
Yeah, it's a documentary. CIA go undercover as a documentary crew during the moon landing.
Right.
Yeah, no, I've got it. I haven't watched it yet.
Fuck. Well, why did the trailer come out just a couple of weeks ago like it's being released in theaters?
Well, it's probably getting distribution.
Oh.
I had my sources.
Ah, I see. Conspiracy people.
But yeah, again, Hidden Figures is based on a true story. It's about these three women. They're the main women in the story, but it's about all these women who were doing mathematics behind the scenes at NASA, and how these women, and black women specifically too, were completely were fighting to make it in a white man's world when they were more than competent and more than able to do so.
That's right. Even going as far as to learn, or one of the females leads in the movie Octavia Spencer, or as I like to call her, Lobster Lady,
Right.
Learns the IBM computer that they have to program it and to help do calculations that humans would not usually have to do anymore. They can now do with the supercomputer. Right.
Yeah. I mean, the film shows this whole transition. Now, the one thing that kind of threw me off, I was getting a bit buggy about it I hate to say it, it took me till almost the end of the film to kind of figure it out.
What's that?
During the film, every time they would take these people, these women, and send them out elsewhere, they would call them computers.
Yeah.
You say, you're a computer, we don't need a computer here anymore. And I'm like, wow, they're calling them machines. That's kind of cold. That's weird how they're doing that. Huh. And it's not clicking. You see, this is how embedded I am in the now. It's not clicking what's happening. And during this whole process, they got this empty room, and they're bringing in the IBM, which is new to them, and it's these big tape reel-to-reel and punch card. It's a giant computer. But they're not calling it that. They're calling it the IBM machine, and so. But they keep calling the women computers, and I'm like, this is fucking
to compute.
Rough.
Yeah.
But then at the very end, when she leaves, when Octavia leaves the room where the women would stay waiting for their assignments, and she looks up and there's the sign "Colored Computers," and like a part of my brain flicks, like, oh wait, they compute stuff. They're computers. This is before computers. What the fuck? It's like, I really was embarrassed. I was like, the whole film, every time they would call someone a computer, I would flinch. Like, that's just mean. What are you doing? No, they're computing. They are computers because they're, dude, get with the fucking 60s. Come on.
I got it.
Yeah, I missed it. It took that sign, "Colored Computers," for me to click. Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that in this film too. There's a lot of the colored bathroom is a big deal. At some point, they make a colored coffee pot.
Yeah, I know. That's fucked up.
It is. And
that woman, Katherine Johnson, was her name. She has a really good scene where she's coming back from the rain with Kevin Costner, where he's like, "Where the hell do you go for 40 minutes?" And then she just loses her fucking shit, justifiably. But loses her shit, and which, ironically enough, she looks like she's constipated this whole film. So she's just
she's kind of subdued and demure.
She kind of makes that squinty face. It's like, you really should go to the bathroom. You look like you need to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, and that gets a bit into the whole film is really about, again, black women struggling to excel in a world that's dominated by white men, and in a lot of real ways oppresses them.
One of the best lines in the film.
I hope you're going to say the same thing I am. Go ahead.
Maybe not, but it does have to do with oppression. All the women are kind of eating lunch, and what's her face, the chick from Spider-Man. She comes over and
Kirsten Dunst.
there you go, Kirsten Dunst. She comes over and one of the girls wants to be an engineer. She says that's not possible. You need, this is the qualifications that you need. And the one woman says, every time you try and get ahead, they move the finish line. And I thought that was a really great line because she was more than qualified to be an engineer, but because
she was going to become an engineer, they threw some new stuff out there.
Right, exactly. It says, okay, now that you're qualified, you need to be this much more qualified.
Well, and you have to be this much more qualified by taking classes at the school, which
don't allow black people,
which is a segregated school,
yeah,
high school for white men only. Yeah, so.
Yep. So.
Now, it's funny you say that because my favorite line of the film, and I would say right now, I like this film. This is a very well done film.
It's very well done.
And I'll get into some of the arguments against the film, and they're all bullshit to an extent.
Well, you know what I don't like when it says based on true events? It's just like the women are real. The stories about them are fabricated.
But it's drama. Yeah, but it's dramatized. I mean, like it's not all 100%. So they have to say it's based on it's not a documentary, right?
Right. I mean, if the film had said based on a true story, and whereas the facts for the most part are this is it, I think it would have a better shot at being Best Picture.
Well, now, yeah, I'm going to get into that in a minute. There's a couple of things. But you mentioned your favorite line. The line I love the most, and because I thought really hit the nail on the head as far as when you're talking about a film that is dealing with oppression of blacks during the 60s, you really have to go out of your way to give me something I don't already know.
Yeah.
All right? Now, like I'm watching this film, and they do all the stuff, like the bathrooms, and your children aren't allowed in here, and this and that, and I'm thinking, maybe because I'm a bit more progressive, I'm not sure if that's the right term in this situation, but like I'm well aware that this is not ancient history. This is recent. And matter of fact, the one woman, the main woman, Katherine Johnson, that's portrayed in the film, the lead. She's alive, or she was alive when they're filming this.
Yeah, she's 97, if she's still alive.
Yeah, Tarija, I think I'm pronouncing the name, Henson, she actually met with her and talked to her about her experiences. This isn't something like, hundreds of years ago this happened, this is so horrible. No, this shit happened.
50, 60
people are
years
still
ago.
alive that remember this shit.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't.
This is not ancient history.
A lot of people don't realize, or maybe they don't realize is maybe not the right word, but a lot of people don't remember or realize that this shit was only happening 50, 60 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
That is not a long time ago.
It's recent. This is recent.
Yeah.
This is we like to say, the 50s, ha ha ha. Yeah, the 50s isn't that fucking far back.
Yeah, no.
People from the 50s, there's still shit from the 50s around, not just the cars.
This is true.
I mean, the one scene you mentioned where she comes in out of the rain because she's running 40 minutes back and forth to use the bathroom because there's no colored bathroom on that side of the complex. And
campus,
when Kevin Costner's film, I'm sorry?
She's got to walk a half a mile each way.
So Kevin Costner's like, where the hell have you been? I like the fact that the film did address the fact that, okay, there are people that are like bigoted and racist because, hell, it's the 50s. Come on. Right. But then there's like Costner, who's he's not, but he's in the middle of a white man world. He doesn't even know what's going on with colored bathrooms. He's like, what do you mean colored bathrooms? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why? Because it doesn't affect his life. Because he's a white man. This would come into that white privilege thing you hear about. That is really a thing, but let's not push it too far. And I like that scene because it showed, some of these people, all you need to do is just fucking immerse them in that world somehow. And the only reason I'm going around that way is because you mentioned your favorite line, and my favorite line highlighted not only that, but the middle of the road, because you have the people that are just asshole, racist bigots, then like the cop at the beginning of the film, which I thought was good. I thought it was a good opening. It really just shows.
Yeah.
It's like, we're stuck by the side of the road. Don't mean we're not going to go to jail. Yeah, that's fucking true. It kind of reminded me of the Men in Black 3, my favorite scene ever. Just because I'm black doesn't mean, just because a black man drive a car like that doesn't mean he stole it. Okay, I stole this one. But I love that scene. But anyway, my favorite scene ever is Octavia, again, and Kirsten Dunst. So the same two actresses. But this is after, this is later after Octavia's taken her women over to start programming the IBM. And the first time I said that, I thought it was a missile. It's like, holy shit! But no, it's the IBM, the computers.
IBM, yeah.
IBM. But they're in the bathroom together. There's a kind of moment of awkwardness, and as Octavia's leaving, Kirsten Dunst's character says, "Listen, as far as I don't know what you might think, but I don't have anything against you girls personally." And Octavia just turns to her, just smiles, and says, "I know you think that's true." And then she walked away. I was like, and that fucking nails it right there.
Yeah.
I really think because I mean the reason that a lot of this shit happens is you have people that are perpetuating this oppression, and there's like a mental process where they can talk to themselves like, well, yeah, but I'm not having nothing against you. Says, yeah, you do. You kind of do.
After the show, before I go sleep for like 12 hours, remind me to tell you something that happened today that I can't say on the show.
That you can't say on the show? Oh,
I can't say it on the show.
Does it rhyme with rigor?
Not necessarily, but it's just.
Oh, that's juicy. You can't just do that to me. Wow. All right.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you get to hear it after the show. No one else does.
Okay. But all I'm kind of saying is, for a film that's about the struggle for black women to get ahead in a white man's world, I thought it was very poignant. I thought they hit the keynotes where they showed the different struggles that were like the one guy from the Big Bang Theory.
Oh, Jim Parsons.
Yeah, I had no problem hating him in the film because I hate the Big Bang Theory, so it was an easy transition. I don't know what the fuck anybody sees in that show.
A lot of people like it.
I don't understand it.
It's okay.
I understand the show. I don't understand people's fascination with it. That's what.
I've seen the show and I don't particularly find it that funny, but there are parts that are funny.
And now you'll get some people say, "Well, you just don't get the humor." So no, I get it. I understand the humor.
Yeah,
it's just not funny. That's the difference there. But I like it portrayed all these different characters who none of them are necessarily evil characters. They're just different aspects of the society, and they have different viewpoints that don't involve your viewpoint.
Right.
I thought it was a nice way to show. I just liked how it was handled. It wasn't like it wasn't not that again. White people are evil. I'm not saying they're not, but they had a nice way of just showing the different levels of white, the white male and white female complicity in this oppression, whether or not they're aware of it, and I just thought it was very well done.
Yeah, I agree.
A little wordy there. I apologize.
No,
please. On
YouTube, I'm happy. I'm happy you're doing all the legwork this episode.
YouTube told me that the bearded one needs less words, so I think I have to hand it over to you.
That's right. YouTube did say that. It says bearded one, less words.
But I did say never, and they said okay. So we're back in the middle.
We're back in the middle. Didn't someone call us fucktards just recently?
Pardon?
Didn't someone just call us fucktards recently?
That was actually from like 10 months ago, but I just got around to responding to it. By responding to it, I just reported it.
Well, they can go fuck themselves now or 10 months ago, so there you go.
Well, it's like I was going to respond. It's like, wait a minute, I'm not a 10-year-old kid. Yeah, let me just report this to YouTube and get on with my life. So that was it. All right, great.
We just cracked 1,000 subscribers, which for us is pretty cool, but people like PewDiePie is like, I just shit 1,000 subscribers.
It's funny. I was telling Holly about that. She's like, he never heard of PewDiePie to just now. So please, these kids are too young. Stop. He has all the reason in the world not to have heard of PewDiePie until just now. Don't make fun of Joey.
Thank you.
It's like he doesn't have teenage girls in his house. There's no way he was supposed to know about this.
Fucking ain't right. And then when I saw he had 52 million subscribers, and I was just like, fuck, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Stop. 52 million? I watched one of his videos the other day, and I'm just like...
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
He was playing Resident Evil 7. And the title of his video is "I Have to End It All," and he's got like a picture of a gun in his mouth. And I'm like, this guy makes $4 million a year. Fuck me. God damn it. And here's the problem too.
What?
Whenever you get people like that are that famous, that are that popular, and they have so many hundreds of thousands of likes, usually they get almost the same amount of dislikes because there's people that are shitting on them just because maybe they're jealous or just because they genuinely don't like them. Well, what depressed me more is he's got, like, say, any given video, he'll have like 300,000 likes and like 4,000 dislikes. I'm like, I'm not happy about this ratio.
Well, Joey, you didn't even know he existed until this year. That's why he has so many likes, because people that don't like him wouldn't even bother to look at the video.
Until 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Fuck.
On the other hand, you have us, where every time someone stumbles on our TV, our podcast on YouTube, it's like, oh, good, I get to watch this movie for free. Say, wait, why are these guys talking over it? What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I saw that you replied. He goes, if anyone says that they're not talking over, just reviewing it, and you just wrote they're reviewing it, not talking over.
Yeah. Don't anybody say this. Like, yeah, I'm gonna say it. There you go. Shut the fuck up. It's not fair usage. Yeah, it's fair. Fuck you.
Yes, it is, and it's free fucking advertising. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah. But anyway, Hidden Figures. I mean, just I went into it like I again, this is a film I had no desire to see. Don't care. I personally am aware of how bad the 50s were for everybody. 60s, well, 50s leading into the 60s.
Yeah.
How bad it was for everybody involved except white males. But I thought the film was well done. I thought it really handled it properly. It had the right amount. The soundtrack was interesting. Did the soundtrack hit you at all? I mean,
oh yeah, I thought a lot of the songs that they were playing, like when she was running down to go to the bathroom, they were playing music that was like, it was like last time I'm running, or
yeah,
whatever that song was.
Again, I don't know anything about music at all.
Apparently, Pharrell Williams did the soundtrack.
Well, see, right now I'm going to say it was kind of like an upbeat jazzy.
Yeah.
And it's probably wrong. So ignore me because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to music. That's why we're doing a movie podcast. But I really enjoyed the music. There were some times where I thought it was even like a bit out of place. I was like, should the music really be this upbeat? But
yeah, right.
It really kept the film light. And it's actually, I thought it was I think this is a nice companion piece to the ironically, somebody on IMDb had posted things say, oh yeah, what about all the gay people that were working at NASA that were held back? It's like, well, they stayed in the closet because they weren't stupid, and we don't have to do that because we had the Imitation Game a couple years ago, and we kind of covered the whole gay thing, and he had much worse fate. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But I think this is a nice companion piece to the Imitation Game. It just shows the different aspects of the oppression, and the in this case, overcoming the oppression by going to court, by just being good at what you do, and by being smart enough to realize if they're getting rid of us, we got to learn how to program the machines that are getting rid of us.
Yeah, that was very smart on their part.
Yeah,
it's like, you know what? They're bringing this shit. We got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, and
Pharrell Williams did a lot of the soundtrack for this movie.
Okay, yeah, I love the soundtrack to this. I mean, but it's not up for best song or anything. I saw.
No, usually
not
Pharrell Williams is a shoo-in for best song.
This is the first soundtrack that I've seen that really like jumped out at me, and it's not up for best song or score, and I'm very surprised.
Yeah, because La La Land has 2 slots for that.
Yeah, La La Land can go fuck itself at this point. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really getting annoyed by it. Oh, gee, the musical has a lot of music in it. Let's put 2 songs. Come on, guys, really? That original? But I like the soundtrack. I thought it was a decent film. The movie's not too long. Was it 2 hours, I think, exactly?
2 hours, 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yeah, just right in there. Kevin Costner, great. All the cast is.
You would have thought Costner would have got nominated for Best Supporting or something.
I don't. What?
Is he? He isn't, right?
Supporting actor?
Yeah.
No. The supporting actress, Octavia.
Okay.
But the actress didn't get Best Actress, which I'm kind of okay with. I don't think Octavia is going to win.
No.
Now, I don't want to sound this way. I don't want to sound like these bigot asshole alt-right motherfuckers. I have a feeling. I personally, I just want to say that I don't think she would have gotten the Best Oscar nominee, Best Supporting Actress nominee, if there hadn't been this whole backlash against White Gold last year.
Well, I think you're right.
I'm not saying she was bad, and I haven't seen any other performances I can say, oh, they didn't deserve it. Nothing about her in this film jumped out at me like, oh, she definitely needs to get an Oscar for this. I was like, eh.
Or even the nomination, if you really break it down.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Because if she deserved the best supporting actress nomination, then the lead actress should have gotten a nomination for playing Katherine Johnson.
You would think that she would have been the one nominated.
So I mean, I like Octavia Spencer. I have nothing against her. I have nothing against her in the film. I just don't know what elevates it to an Oscar role. So that's neither here nor there. But I like the film. I enjoyed it. I would. And actually, Holly, I was watching it. She came home from work. She watched the second half with me. She was into it. She was asking me questions. It was that kind of film where it engaged you walking in halfway. It's a well done film.
No, it's very well done.
Yeah,
I very much enjoyed it too. I'll probably end up watching it again after I tell Mare how much I liked it. So she'll probably want to watch it.
Yeah, tell her Holly enjoyed it. That'll seal it.
No, it won't.
Is it best Oscar category?
No, it's not Best Picture.
It's not Best Picture.
Not
I
in the
really
least.
don't think so.
Not in the fucking least. And again, I think you're right with the whole backlash, and there are films and some actor nominations that probably would not have been nominated had there not been a huge backlash over the last 2 years.
But I'm okay with that because it's not like they wouldn't have nominated other people who didn't really deserve a nomination anyway.
Right.
Besides that,
who
cares?
And again, I still feel Nocturnal Animals was completely snubbed. I think that could or probably would have been nominated otherwise.
And that's what it all comes down to. It's art. Art is subjective.
Yeah. And
when you're giving out awards for the best subjective piece of art, you're going to have people that subjectively disagree.
I think so.
You can't rate art objectively because art is subjective.
Yep.
And I didn't mean to get all deep on you there. I apologize.
It's okay. You can go deep.
And also if you want to, the IMDb message board on this, I keep bringing it up just because it's so much fun. Because in this case, you go in, it's like, okay, let's spot the racist, and it's like, It's like, oh, I've read that they exaggerated the animosity of the white people towards the black people. Why was that necessary? It's like, well, because it's dramatization, asshole.
Well,
and that's what you do.
Well, that was, it's like based on true events.
Right. Well, and there's things like they've said that like there wasn't as it wasn't as much like there wasn't as like the once what's her name, Katherine Johnson got into the working with the NASA people, there wasn't this like rift as bad as it was in the film, but they're trying to portray like an overall sense. So you tweak it a bit because you only have 2 hours to convey all this shit. And anybody who thinks that it wasn't bad to be a black person in 1961 needs to have their fucking head examined.
Dude, I even say it's probably not that good to be a black person right now.
It's better.
It's much better, but
But if you had the choice to be black or white right now, you'd probably go white.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Just because not because it's better, but because it's the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
It's no brainer. I don't think this film was heavy-handed at all. I thought it was very fair. I thought it was more fair than it probably should have been as far as like the white characters in it. None of them, like I said, none of them were really portrayed as evil or downright racist. Except, maybe one or two peripheral characters, but right. Everybody was kind of like, yeah, okay, we'll play along. And then like John Glenn being the hero there is like, get the girl to do it. I mean, it's a nice. It's a good film. It's a good film. Unless if you voted for Trump, you may not like it. I don't want to get political. I apologize if that offends you.
Yeah,
but
don't get political.
Actually, I don't. I don't care. But
you
I'll
think this
say it
film
anyway.
is being played on Air Force One? I don't think so.
No, he's watching Finding Dory.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, because he's a fucking child. Anyway, so IMDb has Hidden Figures at 7.9, and
Okay.
I'm willing to go 7 on this too.
Yeah,
Just like we did with Arrival.
I think so too. 7 sounds good.
Yeah, and again, I have nothing against the film. I just don't think there's anything that elevates this to like, oh, in 50 years will we talk about this film?
Right.
Yeah. And now again, like I brought The Thing last episode. The Thing came out what, 1980?
82.
82? Man, you and fucking numbers. It's scary.
Sorry.
So what's that? 40 years ago?
It's actually, this is its 35th anniversary.
Yes, almost 40 years.
Okay.
So, what I'm saying, so a whole generation later, I still think any
You wouldn't be
list
running
of,
numbers for NASA, I'll tell you that.
I'm definitely not. Oh, you know what? The one thing I didn't like about this film.
What's
The
that?
one thing. Now, at the beginning, they have Katherine Johnson as like a little girl, and the parents are meeting with the school about how we have to get her to special school. And at first, I was like, but then I understand why, because the whole point was here's a gifted child that even though they're gifted, all these special things had to happen to even get her to the position where she should be, and like for a black girl to just with this kind of potential. To have all the special circumstances to get her to this point, it's whereas if a white child had this kind of potential, there'd be no question about where they'd be going. So I understand that, but what bothered me was while she's waiting, she's calling out the different shapes in the stained glass window, and of course they have to CGI the shit floating out as she names them. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And you know what? What pissed me off wasn't like that bothered me, but what pissed me off is like an hour in the film. I'm thinking back to that because like they haven't done a fucking thing like that since then.
Yeah.
It's like they just had to throw a fucking special effect in here just to use a fucking CGI budget outside of the spacecraft.
Well, yeah, and to make sure everyone stayed seated. It's like you don't have to do this, gimmickry. It just you don't have to do it.
It was just like whoever. It's just fucking a waste. If you remove that part and have her just saying those names, look at the stained glass window, you still understand what the fuck she's doing.
Right.
Totally unneeded.
Have her run her fingers over the shape.
No,
I mean,
you don't even need that. Don't even need that.
But I'm just saying the compromise.
And no compromise. No, do not if there's anything this film's message was do not compromise.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, but we sidetracked. I say a strong 7 stars.
I'm good with that.
I would lean towards 8 only if I was pushed because it was so well done. But I'm going to say 7.
Okay.
All right, 7. And real quick, because Joey's dying on the other end.
Well, we're all dying.
Well, yeah, but some sooner than others.
I don't know what that means.
That doesn't mean you. Sorry.
Thank you. You better, please.
And real quick,
your track record.
let me just check it out here. The lowest demographic is males 18 to 29, and is tied with males 30 to 44 at 7.6.
Okay.
And the highest demographic is females aged 45 and over at 8.8. So again, but these are 45 and older. These are women that actually were probably alive at some point when like had memories of this shit, even if they were children at the time. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or I mean, I'm not doing fucking math right now.
No.
But yeah, this shit. That's the one thing is like when this stuff about racism and oppression in America. This shit was fucking recent. This is like not old news yet. This isn't fucking Holocaust reels, and even that not that old.
Yeah.
Just because it was black and white doesn't mean shit.
Yep.
Man. But that's it. Yeah, I recommend the film. I would say watch it.
Absolutely. I think this year's crop of films, I think we're going to be very surprised. I'm
feeling this is like the most positive Oscar year I've had in a long time. There's like maybe 1-2 films on this list that I'm really hesitant. Everything I'm like, I'm game.
Yep.
What are we reviewing next week, sir?
Next week we're doing Hacksaw Ridge and La La Land.
You know
I
what?
am not looking forward to La La Land.
I'm not looking forward to La La Land, but I'll admit that if I was like in a group of people and they said we're going to go see this film, I would not have protested. I would have been like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
I agree.